Hello everyone, my name's Paul. I work for a company in Cape Town called Micrographics. We're an Autodesk reseller. And in today's blog I am going to discuss the second of two videos dealing with calculating rebar lengths based on some other country code, in this case the SANS code in South Africa, where we are calculating the rebar members lengths based on some other formula and scheduling out as per a shared parameter. And specifically we would like to discuss, at least consider the options that are available for us with, in this case, shape code 86 in South Africa. It is a spiral rebar. It's typically used in round columns. Now the calculation for this is based on some other code, and it does not take into account the number of coils at the top or at the bottom, which you can see on the parameters, the finishing turns at the top. If you set that to 0 and that to 0, and you consider the custom length parameter, which is 30 meters, 488 millimeters, and 0.7, that does not alter if you change the number of coils at the top or at the bottom. So in other words, the calculated parameter is a very specific parameter in this case, which is not reflecting the true length of the rebar, which will cause an inaccuracy in the scheduling. Now the shared instance parameter is common to all the rebar shapes. That's the first thing to note, and this causes a problem. So one of the discussions that we had amongst ourselves and with one of the clients was that, all right, what are the opportunities, what are the chances that you could perhaps set the shared parameter equal to the length as calculated by Revit, which is the total bar length. And we said, all right, what if we go into this family and we go and set that equal, and we are looking of course for the total bar length, but we find that within the parameters there's no such parameter available for us. The total bar length is not available for us, so we cannot set our custom parameter equal to the total bar length. That is hidden somewhere within the Revit API. So this now becomes a problem. And also within the project itself, if one were to go into the schedule, and if one will want to create perhaps a calculated parameter, of course that would now be an extra parameter. But could one also leverage the total bar length? There we can see that it is available as a parameter. However, it's already being calculated as per a formula within the family, and because it is shared between all the families, this is no longer a possibility. The only other thing that one could consider, and that would entail creating a Dynamo script possibly, is to go back into the family and to remove the parameter from the family so that it could be manually populated. And in that case one would have to again delve into an Dynamo script. We are waiting on confirmation whether we're going to do that, but that would be an option for you. So retrieve all the rebars of shape 86, read the total length parameter from Revit, and set our shared instance parameter equal to that value, and update that within the project so that the rebar schedule will then update with a value that's read from the actual project. And of course the length is being calculated by the Revit API within the project itself. Alternatively, and this is also, well, just like the Dynamo script, that would have to be written into the corporate BIM protocol so that whoever is constructing the model or authoring the model will understand that they must either run the Dynamo script, or an alternative to that would be to duplicate the schedule. So we could duplicate that view, and then in the first schedule we could say something like SANS 86 without 86, and have another rebar schedule that isolates 86, and then one would have to remove from this schedule the fields. We could then filter by shape code does not equal to 86. That will remove column B1, and in the 86 schedule we would then say filter where shape equals 86. Those will be our 86 rebars, and then of course we could just simply refer to the length as opposed to the shared parameter, which we could then remove from the fields. And then ultimately one would have to put that on the, just get rid of this. Okay, so there's that, and then on this one we would get rid of the length. Rename the headings so they look similar, and place that onto a new sheet. And so we would have to place both schedules, one schedule for the rebar without the 86 shape codes, another rebar for the 86 shape codes. Now you can already see if your member or your host contains both 86 and others, then you wouldn't be able to order the schedule based on the host number. So ultimately, my suspicion is that a Dynamo script is going to be the solution for this. Hopefully we can show this in the future, but I hope that this has covered the discussion for you on how to handle rebar that is calculated based on a SANS code, and how you might consider handling the challenging shape code of 86. Until next time, enjoy Revit.